Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to keep it short, but I do want to clear.
Say. Go ahead.
I do want to clear up a couple of issues that have been brought up briefly. One has to do with this indemnity provision in the bill and the caps and so forth. Let me say this: the cap. We're not trying to create a plaintiff's lawyer's gold mine here. The caps on the plaintiff's side under the law, under Chapter 101, 102, 108 of the Civil Practice and Remedies Code, are still in effect. And so the caps on recovery, on what someone can recover, are still the same. None of that has changed, and it has not waived any immunity whatsoever. The only way to get to these other concerns and these great numbers would be, frankly, if there was bad faith and the other things that were found, and if that's the case, it's exempt, and the counties and cities would not be obligated under the indemnification provisions anyway. So what I'm saying is, it's a red herring. That being said, I'm still willing to look at that. We'll continue to look at that, and we'll come up with some perfecting language. Number two, there's been some discussion about asylum. I want everyone to understand, aliens, as defined under federal law, have the right to apply for asylum. This bill does not prohibit that at all. In fact, if you look at the Arizona case and you look at 8 U.S.C. 1158, they don't say that you have to actually be in the United States in order to claim or continue to claim asylum. You can still start that process, do that process, continue that process. This bill does not prohibit that or affect that. This bill just says that you're not allowed to come here illegally. That's all it says. Lastly, for those that think that this bill is unfair, oppressive, discriminatory, I would, and maybe I didn't make it clear in my layout, but the law as to illegal entry under 1325 and for re-entry under 1326 and for removal under 8 U.S.C. 1231 is the law now. The provisions that we're talking about, that is the current law. As a matter of fact, it's been the law for 71 years. So, and to say, and that law is, to a certain extent, is being enforced by our federal government, not to the extent that it should and not to the extent that it has been. From 2016, 17, 18, and 19 of these removals that we're talking about, those averaged 326,853 per year. The problem is that we're now at a rate of 72,177 for 2022. I don't know what the statistics are for 23. But the problem is that law is in place. That law is being affected by the federal government, but not near to the extent that it was. Therefore, we have the problem that we're with today. Lastly, I'll just briefly say, for those that say that this is unconstitutional and it flies in the face of Arizona versus the U.S., I would encourage them to actually read that case again, because I respectfully disagree on each of the points made, and even the one point that the court found constitutional, we're not even doing that in this instance. So what I would say is, I believe the case stands for itself. Thank you for your time. It's been a long afternoon, and I respect your time and ask for favorable consideration.